I hit go live a little early. So I'm a little early today. I hope you don't mind. It was an accident. I was trying to get set up and it just went live. It happens. If the air conditioner is bothering you, let me know and I will turn it off. Right now, I am keeping it on because I am worried that between the lights and everything else that it's going to get super hot in here. So, but if it's bothering you, then I will turn it off and I'll just deal with it. Okay. I was totally not ready. So I'll just sit here and chat with you for a moment. How's that? Okay. I'm getting there. Hi, everyone. Hello. I am here. I'm just trying to find the chat and I am good to go. Like I said, I was not totally ready. I accidentally hit go live. So I'm a few minutes early and so I won't get started until until it's actually time to go live. I have that. I think I am getting there. I was still tidying up my desk and giving myself some space to work. There's always something like that, right? I've been super busy this week. Everything that I was going to get done, yeah, I didn't get done. I thought I was going to be really sneaky and have all those adventure to Bacon Rind City mice together, and I do. And I would have lots of time to get other things done. Well, I do have lots of time to get other things done, but it's been really beautiful in the evenings when I come home from work. So I've been sitting outside, which was not the plan. Not the plan, but okay. I did, however, get my doll cut out. That's always a big one. Not the second one, just the first one. So, well, we're almost there. So I was a little early. You know, it happens. I accidentally hit go live when I was trying to hook my camera up. So that's why I'm a little early and I'm a little confused because that was not supposed to happen. What am I going to do today? Well, first I want to know, how was your week? Did you have a good week? Did you have a not so good week? Did you work on something special? I would love to know, so let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat. What did you do this week? Did you work on something creative? And did you have a good week? And if you want to tell me where you're from as well, that's even better. So my name is Marylou, and I am in Canada. And I'm trying to find some thread that is going to match what I want to do. And it's not that easy. The thread that I have is kind of like weirdly put together. Weird. Okay. So I'm not using that. Let's see, do I have green color? I think so. I have lots and lots of colors. Oh, I think I want to use this one. Maybe I want to use this one. Let's see. I have lots of color. I have blue. I definitely need that needle. That's too red. I wish I had something that was closer to this color right here. But maybe I don't. And then I'm just going to have to live with it. I have that's a yellow, white, green, blue. Brown would work. I don't know. I don't know. So my plan is to make a journal cover out of this doily. The other day, I was on Marketplace. I'm always checking Marketplace because you never know what you're going to find right there and what people are trying to get rid of. So I saw this listing for a big bag of doilies, and they were a little dirty, or they had some stains, and they had some tears. So, you know, one, I don't care about stains as long as it's clean, and this is clean, as long as it's clean. And I don't care if it has little bits of tears, because I'm going to tear it even harder. So this is one that was just a little dirty. Let me zoom you out just a little bit. This one was just a little dirty, and you can see it right here on the edge. But other than that, there's nothing wrong with it. And it is beautifully crocheted, and it is super solid. So then when I was going through the bag, I thought, why don't I turn that into a journal cover? My inspiration for all of this is Amity Bloom. For whatever reason, because I haven't been as busy as what I normally am, I've been watching some YouTube videos. I do. I watch videos as well, just like you guys. And I was watching Amity Bloom, and she makes the most beautiful journals out of hankies and doilies and whatever fabric she can find. And so I was watching that, and then I found this bag of doilies. So she is totally my inspiration behind here, but I don't know if it is going to ever look like a journal made by her. This is going to be a journal by Marylou. It will be my own style, but that is what I'm inspired by. So what I have done so far is I have cut a piece of fabric out to be 8.5 by 11, and I actually did that accidental. So that is my backing. This is the cover, and then I have this beautiful fabric that is really, really stiff. This is upholstery fabric to go on the inside. So I want like a soft cover, but still sturdy. And I think between these 3 layers, it is going to give me something really pretty, but still very sturdy. So what I'm going to start with is I want to hand stitch the fabric onto the doily. I don't want to run it through the machine because I don't know how my machine is going to handle it. So I thought, well, if I hand stitch it, then that's going to be a great way to keep everybody company. And I can just chit chat while I am stitching. I thought that was a great idea. So I'll tell you again, if the air conditioning is loud and you can hear it loudly, excuse me, and you can hear it loudly, let me know in the chat and I will turn it off. But until you say something, I will be keeping it on. I hope it's not loud, but you know, I don't know. I am not listening to anything. And if you're here and you know you're watching, if you're watching on a TV, of course it's really impossible to say hi, but if you're here watching and you have an ability to say hi, and let me know where you're from and the project you've been working on this week. I've had a busy week at work. Well, kind of a weird week at work because I am working remotely from a different office, and that just kind of gives me, it kind of gave me a little bit of headache because I had to get our IT to install all kinds of stuff that I needed that we hadn't thought of beforehand. So okay, let's find a spot to get started. And I just want to make sure I have a nice start here where it's not going to come loose anytime soon. So I'm just looping it together. Put the dolls aside, they are for after. All right, I'm going to zoom you in so you can see my hands and how I am attaching this. Okay, so I've already pinned everything down because I didn't want to waste that much time on that. And so now I'm just gonna go around with the top row of stitches here. There's the top row right here, and that's what I'm kind of going to attach the fabric to. So that means that the decorative border is going to hang loose, which I am perfectly good with. That is how I am thinking this up. And I know I didn't want to do another spread today. I just wanted to build a journal and see where it goes and try something a little different. So here we're finally getting some heat, but we're still dealing with all the water from June 29th. Yeah, June 29th. We had a crazy rainstorm, and well, now the water has to go somewhere, and the city that I live by is the lowest point by the river. So guess what the water is doing? It's all coming rushing, or it's not even rushing, it's very slowly coming towards us. And they think it's going to crest on the 13th. And so they've put the emergency dike up, they've put all the emergency water measures are in place. And, but yeah, we can't afford any more water now. So hopefully Mother Nature is going to be nice for a little while, and she's not going to make it rain anymore for at least we need about a week of heat and dry to get everything to dry up a little bit. Like, we have things being canceled left, right, and center because of the water situation, and that's not good. There's places that are counting on their festivals and things like that, because that's what brings in the money. So when that's all canceled because we're dealing with a flood situation, it's not cool at all. Now I am on high ground, so don't worry. But yeah, it's not fun. Okay. I am not the neatest hand sewer. So I know I could have probably done way nicer, but I didn't. I am doing it this way. And it's going to take me a moment to get all the way around. But I think once I attach this by hand, it's going to be pretty sturdy, and it will stay really nice. See better. I couldn't see what was happening, so I was like, oh no, what am I doing wrong? But I figured it out. Okay. So I'm in my town. It is Peacock Days this weekend, because I live in a town where we have peacocks running free pretty much all year. They don't like the winter. Who does? This is Manitoba. Nobody likes the winter. It is long and cold. But the peacocks go into the barn in the winter, and then they come out again during roughly the middle of May, and they run free all the way up till pretty much the first snowfall, I think. So it is pretty cool, and I keep thinking I should do a peacock project one of these days, but I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. I keep wanting to do different things. So are you guys following the Adventures to Bacon Rind City? Do you follow it? Are you watching it? which is your favorite mouse so far. There's still a couple more coming. No mouse tomorrow, though. Tomorrow is Paper Doll Saturday. Why do I think of things to do like this? Why do I think that this would be fun? I don't know if you guys are the same, but about 2 minutes into a project, I'm like, what was I thinking? Why did I think that was a good idea? Probably because I know that it's going to look pretty if I do it this way, and if I do it under the sewing machine, it may not look as neat and tidy. Which doesn't say much for my sewing machine, because this isn't very neat and tidy either, but you know. At least I know I am staying and I'm keeping everything in one spot. And I try, when I work with a sewing machine, I usually try to go too fast, and then it turns into a mess. So I prefer to hand stitch something like this than make a mess. All right. And I'm making sure that everything is attached well, because I want this to, I just want it to look pretty, and I want it to be kind of a different journal cover. Why not, right? It doesn't always have to be made out of paper. You can make a soft cover out of a doily and hankies and you know, an old dress if you have laying around, or a tablecloth, or a towel. Why not a towel? Why can't you make a journal out of a towel? Use it for a beach towel to go with the bathing suits from last week for the paper doll. Why not? But this is definitely a reuse and repurpose kind of project. I thought about using an Amazon envelope, but yeah, I'm not sure if I like that. I wanted something a little different. So here's the other problem that I have when I'm doing something like that. I don't put my pins away. So then I have pins laying everywhere. Do you drive yourself crazy sometimes too? I do. I think I'm almost halfway. Almost, not quite. Third of the way. Definitely a third of the way. Ow! Needle in my finger. I know, that's why we have thimbles. I don't know. I can't use a thimble. I don't know um, how you do that. So I usually draw blood. Okay. I think this is a bigger job than what I anticipated. But I think it'll be a really pretty journal cover when I manage to get the signature stitched into it, and I have some beautiful papers. So what is funny is that I'm making the cover with kind of reds and beige, and then the inside of the journal is kind of going to be like a blue-gray and browns. So I think it'll be a really cool contrast. Especially because I want it to be kind of Regency, so it can be a little bit darker colors. More jewel tone colors, so that's why I thought of that. So most of this entire journal I want to do in jewel tones and golds and beige, and have it be a really rich journal. But I have no idea how long it'll take me to make it. I'll probably get like the pages stitched in today, but I have no idea how long decorating is going to take me or anything like that. And did you guys see my man? Did you see my man? Let me show you my man. Let me take a moment and introduce you to Thomas. Thomas needs to put some clothes on. That's what I'm telling him. Like, get dressed already. Sheesh. So here are his clothes. So we've got the great big overcoat and his linen undershirt with his waistcoat, and then his tailcoat, his breeches, boots, and a top hat. And then here we have another waistcoat and another tailcoat, and then a greatcoat, a white linen shirt, and the breeches are just slightly different color. So one's a little bit more towards gold than the other one. And then these boots are like a deep dark black. And I gave him a valet for his clothes and a little bit of a background, a little bit of a masculine background. I thought that would be cool to do. So the other thing I was working on today was this. And I think they are really cool. So I can use those in this journal. And you can see like it's all beige and kind of a darker color and lots of gold. So I made some beauties. And then I have a watercolor background and some other backgrounds, but I haven't done anything with these yet. These are not available yet because I don't really know what to do with them. So this one, I really like how it looks on my screen, and then when I print it, it is kind of just blah. So this is going to need lots of gold like it is on my screen. So that's what I am going to be putting in here, and there'll probably be lots more, but right now all I am doing is creating the cover for that journal. so that I have something to put all of those pretties into. And then I've also been working on tomorrow's paper doll, of course, and the whole beach beach idea. So that is kind of the theme for tomorrow. It's all beach and fun. Kind of continuing from last week. So I really like all the bathing suits, and yeah, I know tomorrow I also have in the video there will be a question for you, because there's something else that I'm working on, and I am giving you that information tomorrow. So you'll have to watch tomorrow's video to see what's going on, what am I thinking, what's happening, because I need your input. Because I'm having lots of fun with the paper dolls, but if they are going in a direction that doesn't interest anybody, then there is no point in me continuing with that, is there? So that's kind of what I want to know, if I am going in the right direction. So if you're here and you're watching, don't be shy. I won't prick you with my needle. I am just trying to get this done. I think I need to get a new thread. Let's just stitch this off. A new piece of thread. And I know it's not the right color thread, but it's okay. It's not that obvious once I stitch it on. Okay. I know this is really boring watching me stitch this together, but I gotta get through here so I can do something more fun. And I am getting there. Oh gosh, goodness sakes. Come on. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try and speed it up a little bit, because this is taking so long. So what are you guys working on? Do you do a craft while you're watching YouTube, or are you just sitting in front of the TV with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and or something a little stronger or better? Um, and do you watch videos, or are you actually like working on something? I like to, when I'm fussy cutting or something like that, that's when I turn YouTube on. Or when I am just needing to listen to something, then I will also sometimes turn it on just to see if there's something that inspires me. So at the moment, the channels that I'm watching that are inspiring me are Amity Bloom and Raven Vintage. Those are wonderful. And of course, there's always Louisa Heinzel, right? but that's dangerous, because then I get inspired and then I start making a mess. So watching Amity Bloom and being inspired by Amity Bloom is way better, because it's not as messy. So all I'm doing right now is I am creating a cover for a journal, and I am creating it out of a vintage, yeah, it's vintage, doily that I bought a great big garbage bag full of doilies and tablecloths that and curtains, lace curtains that I can use, and I have all kinds of plans for it. So for example, let me show you. This was also in there. Like, look how beautiful that lace is. So I can take the lace off, and then I can use it for page edges and stuff like that. And oh shoot. And also have this curtain, which is really cool because I can cut flowers out and use the flowers in clusters and things like that. So those are all ideas that I am thinking of to do with all that crocheted stuff. And I think there was 2 things that I didn't keep. They were yellow, like yellow. Do I have like that color yellow? I'm sorry, I did not want to make that color yellow journal. I didn't see how that was ever going to happen. And I also couldn't just, I was like, there's so much that I don't want to keep those 2 pieces of yellow just because I say, oh, what a shame, what a waste, I shouldn't be throwing it out. So that's why I just went, not holding on to it, let's just get rid of it. Okay, I'm getting there. I am now thinking that I don't want to put the backing on it because that's going to take even longer, and I just don't want to have this take that long. But maybe I can put would I be able to, like, I don't know, if there's anybody here that knows this, do you think I can make this as the cover and then put paper on the inside and then do a hidden binding, or should I just use beads on the outside and make it a decorative binding on the outside? I want to do 2 signatures, unless I decide that I'm going to do 3, but then I am going to keep the same amount of paper. I'm just going to make the signatures a little smaller. because I usually do 13 pages. So if I did less than that, I don't know. See, lots of decisions that I need to make, but first I need to finish sewing the back fabric all the way along this doily, and it's getting there. This is where my start is, and this is where I'm at. So I only have little spot left, little bit left. So someone definitely loved to crochet and made all these beautiful things, and I struggle with cutting it up. When it's just the lace pieces, I don't, but when it's a full doily, I struggle with cutting it up, because I know someone spent a lot of time crocheting that. So I'm trying to kind of reflect that in when I make something, so that I make something that actually showcases the crochet piece, even if it has a stain on it. Like, really, does that matter? It's going to get more stains on it probably before I finish making the journal. Just this little piece left. I can do it. I got this. I know I can do this. And I was like, I haven't really started a brand new journal in a while, so why not? Why not do a new one and try something different? So I keep wanting to make something with a hidden spine. I just, I've never done that yet, so I'm a little hesitant on it. I would much rather do a different kind of spine than something where I could be messing it up completely. So that's why I am just probably going to put beads on my spine, so you have like lots of beads coming on here and make it sparkle and shine. And I think that would look way prettier than a hidden spine with fabric. Like, I don't think that's not going to look all that nice. But what I can do, so once I finish sewing this, I am brainstorming as I am doing this. I am brainstorming. So what I am thinking is that I could sew the journal into the upholstery fabric, and then I can sew the upholstery fabric off camera to this fabric, and then you can't see the spine at all. So it's a different kind of hidden spine, but more up my alley. So this would just be like a decorative piece that is going to go over top of the other cover. Then I could do that. I think that would be a good plan. So I'll just finish doing this. Then I'm going to cut a piece of the upholstery fabric. And I'll grab the signature papers. And then we'll get a journal put together. Okay, my thread is too short again, so I'm just going to cut it short, and then I'm going to do a lazy girl fix. Mostly because I'm so close to the end. I don't want to waste all that time tying off the thread. It helps if you put the needle on. Helps a lot when you're sewing and you actually use a needle. It's much easier than trying to stick your finger through the fabric. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to tie it on here like this. Pull this through, and then I'm just going to tie a knot here to the two ends like that, and it's not going to go anywhere, and I didn't have to waste a whole lot of time. I call that my lazy girl. And okay, need to come back out there. And I just have a teeny tiny little spot left to put on there, and then this whole piece is together, and this is going to be the outside cover of my new journal. And, you know, this is really boring to watch, and I apologize for that. But it'll be more exciting as soon as I get this done and I can get to the other part of the cover. Okay, I'm there. I'm there. I made it. I made it. I made it. Okay. I'm going to tie this off. And I'm doing it the lazy girl way, because there's something else going over top of it anyway, so that will hold all the stitches in place. And all the knots. There we go. There is my outside cover. So once it is closed up, it'll kind of look like that. Isn't that cute? I thought that was going to be really cute. Let's just make sure that I show you properly. So it'll be like that, just like that. I think it is cute. It'll be like, these pieces will just be hanging loose. I can even, if I want to, I can even tie them back a little bit, like that. That would work too. But I don't have to. I can keep it just like so. So let's fold some signatures. Sorry, everything was falling. Okay, so here is the papers that I want to use for my signatures. And let me show you what I have. So I've gone through my stash of papers that I have dyed, and I decided that I wanted to do them one at a time. So they're all avocado dyed, coffee dyed, onion dyed, and with paper artsy infusions. And then all these blue ones are all done. I'm going to zoom you out now. They're all done with purple cabbage. So, like, look at the beautiful deep blue that is right here on the edges. So that is why I kind of went in this direction. And how I build my signatures is I fold them one at a time, and then I just layer them together. I use, I believe this is 28-pound paper that I dyed. There's some 32-pound paper in here, but there's nothing lighter than that. So I want to have it go kind of like that. So you get a little bit of a soft blue tinge to the signatures. And I thought with all the beige, that would be really pretty. And even with the burgundy, it would look really pretty. So I want to do fairly simple, and then the decorations inside the journal can be super complicated, but the rest of it needs to be super simple. So you can see here, like, I don't know if it comes through on camera, there's a design in the paper from stencils that I've put on it while it was dyeing. So, and this way, if I do it like this, then I know my papers are all folded in half properly. And I am not a crazy neat freak, but I do want everything to always be perfectly lined up. And if I take the whole bunch and then I fold them all at once, I never like how that looks in the end. So I use 13 sheets of paper. So 13 sheets per signature is, so you multiply it by 4. So that's 40, that's 52 pages. Because, let me show you. One sheet of paper gives you 4 pages. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. So 13 sheets give you 52 pages. I'm using the paper that I have sitting around. I'm trying to use my stash a little bit. I have a huge stash of dyed paper that I've made, like Easter egg dyed, and I have used onion dyed, and obviously the purple cabbage dye, avocado dye, all kinds of colors. Look at this. This is beautiful, like with all the colors in there. So there is signature number 1. And then signature number 2 is going to have a blue sheet on the outside so that it kind of looks different. It's kind of backwards. This one has what in the center? It has that in the center. I'm going to turn it over. Ooh, this one's pretty too. Super pretty. I had pulled all the papers out, but you know, once you go through it again, you know, like it's like, oh yeah, that was pretty. That I like that. Look at this one. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's one of the least nice ones. There is so many really nice ones in the batch that I did. Oh. Oh, look how lovely that looks. So I'm thinking it's going to be a Regency journal, but usually as I am going, it usually turns into something completely different. So I'm going to try and stick with it. But I wanted something that I could do that was a little different, that I can work on off and on. Not constant, but off and on until I have something that is actually worth showing off. And I have all these vintage hankies and all the Regency Collection paper dolls, and there's other Regency stuff that I'm working on that will also be going in it. Like I showed you, I have the paintings, and I want to put some furniture together, and I came up with some ceilings, because did you know that during the Regency period they had beautiful ceilings, beautiful decorated ceilings. So I know this one's pretty too, and it's got some pink in it. I don't know why it's got pink in it. Maybe it picked it up from the avocado dye. Who knows? Everything is possible. So I want to actually like clear it this weekend. I'm going to clear my desk off. I'm going to put the sewing machine on here as well, so that I can do lots of sewed together pieces, and especially if I want to use more hankies and things like that, I'm going to need to use the sewing machine. And I also want to scan the hankies and see if there's something that I can come up with that. So that's my plan. That's what I will be doing this weekend. One more. You know what, I'm going to pull this one out because I like this one way better. And I'm just going to replace it with this one. Yeah, that's much nicer. Okay, so it's kind of like a soft blue, blue look. Not crazy blue, but just a really soft blue edge. And I like that the two signatures have the different colors. All right, so how am I going to do this? I think so. I have this beautiful upholstery fabric, a lot of it, And I am going to need a piece that is 11, right, 8.5 by 11, so a letter size piece of the fabric. And I think how I want to do that is I'm just going to take a sheet of cardstock that I have right here. I'm going to put that right there, and grabbing my fabric scissors, how am I? I don't know how to get this done properly. Let's see. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm kind of struggling here, trying to get this to go. Okay, I'm going to widely cut around it. I have lots of this fabric, so I'm not too concerned. There we go. And I may take a strip of this for the spine. I am going to put a paper spine in there so that there's some structure to just that piece. If you can tell, I have lots of this, so even when I put the signatures in here, there will be plenty. Well, not really. Which is okay. I have lots of this. I may just not cut that down too much. I may keep it like this width. I'm just going to cut it straight. Straight-ish. And then I'm just going to cut this line, but I'm going to keep that little bit of extra here so that then I will have lots of fabric to go around this, where it's not going to be all that tight. I can actually make like a fair size spine for it. So right now I am going to say I am going to need I want to have about an inch between the two signatures, so I'll need 2-inch spine. I can start with that. If it's too much, I can go down. If I have it like this, that's 1 inch, and then 1/2 inch on either side, that's 2 inches. Yeah, so I need to cut this to 2 inches. So that will be my spine. And I can glue that right in here. So I just need to find the center. And I need to take this. Just cut right around this edge. This is super crazy heavy fabric. when I was growing up, we had a couch made out of this material. Okay. There we go. So now I need to fold it the other way around, because of course I don't want to have this side facing me when I open the journal, right? I want to have it facing me like that. There. This I'm going to fold in half. I like making my spines by folding. I know not everybody does it like that, but it also gives me a little bit of movement in the spine, so that's perfectly fine. Okay, that's one signature. And then fold this one back. Right there. And I'm going to ink it so you can see what I'm doing. Just a little bit of ink so you can see the lines. There we go. So 1/2 inch on either side and 1 inch in between. That is going to give me quite a bit of space for the journal to expand, as opposed to, for example, do I see it anywhere? My Saturday paper doll journal, which is completely gotten out of hand, and it's like this thick, and you know, the spine is not going to hold it for very much longer. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, so I need 5 spots, and I am going to fold this in half like that. Then I am folding, I'll show this way too. Then I'm folding this side back up to the center, and this side to the center. And then I am going to take just a little, no, I am going to go back and put this in half. So I'll ink that so you can see the other side. So this is how I divide my spine for a journal. I am going to cut another 2-inch piece, because yeah, I'm not going to put which way do you think it goes? This way, I believe. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I don't want a fully folded spine, but I do have a really nice template now. So I'm going to lay this together. I'm going to grab something that I can put underneath, which might just be this. And I'm going to punch holes through here. If I can find my owl. It's here somewhere. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to put these very nicely together. And then I'm going to punch holes on the intersections. Right there, right there. There we go. So there is this piece. So I need to I'm taking this piece and I'm laying this over that fold. I know it's not the most perfect way to explain what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it as I'm going. So you are watching my thought process. So I'm laying this on here, folding this over. And I can line this up. And pull this one out. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. The holes are pretty similar. So I'm going to write. This is how it came out. So I'm going to write top, and I'm going to put a top right on that side. If I put it on this side, we're never going to see it anymore because I'm gluing that down. Okay, now I need glue that is going to hold this down really nicely. A hole in here, and I'm just putting lots of glue on there. I am not too concerned. It is all going to be on the inside, so you'll never see it again. Whoops. And then I'm just going to lay this like that. And then I'm just going to fold it back the other way. more glue on this side. And flip this back. There we go. And it's just to hold it down for a moment because I am stitching over top of it, right? Once I put the sew the signatures in, this is all going to stay very nicely. So this is my spine, and then I have my soft edges. I think it is a much better idea to have a little bit of a heavier spine. Okay, this can dry while I am punching the holes into my signatures. So I have all the intersections here as well. Ink that so you can see. So right here I have all the intersections as well. So I'm going to punch holes on those intersections on the inside of the journal. So I'm going to take the first signature, making sure that they're all lined up how I want them. And it's actually kind of funny, like, you know, they're all the same size and they're not all the same size. But I am okay with that. It is going to stay exactly like that. I'm going to the center. And I'm going to see this is top. So this is top. And then I am going pretty tight in there so that it's a nice tight fit. I am grabbing a clip and I'm clipping that on that side, and I should have another clip like that, but if you were to ask me where it was, I have no idea. So I'm going to grab my bulldog clip and just put it like that. So then I can open it up and it's nice and tight in there. It's not going to go anywhere. And I am punching the holes through. Take one clip off, keep the other one there, and put it aside, and do the same thing with the next one. So I'm taking this, finding the top, tucked into the center. I don't know if I have a third one. Well, I'm going to just have to be super careful. Two, three, and right there, one, and two. There we go. So I'm going to pull this out, put this back so it's holding it together. So I have 2 signatures ready to go. And I have this ready to go. So I am going to need to make sure that my top is my top. And I'm going to grab some thread. I think I want to use like a creamy, not that you can see it. You'll never see it. So I'm taking 3 times the length. 1, 2, 3. And I use wax thread because I like how it feels. I like how strong it is and how it knots. 1, 2, 3. Come on. And I need a big needle that I use usually for binding signatures. I always have like a nice long needle. And it's kind of weird. The feeling is really weird that I am doing this backwards. But it does make total sense to me. So if it doesn't make sense to you why I'm doing this backwards, let me know. I'd be glad to explain it. So I have my needle. I'm going to go. Do I want to put the stitching to the inside? Do I want to go from here? Let's try that. I'm going to go from here to the inside. Is that going to work? Yep. Okay. That way, the binding is going to be on the outside. So it's going to be inside the cover. So I need to go back in here. There. My goodness, I am figuring out my own idea for a hidden spine. Look at me go. That was not my plan, but it is going to work really nicely. Oh, goodness. I'm sure it's not going to stay going that nice, but as long as it does, it does. Ow. Need to go back. Oops. Through here. Making sure I don't punch through the thread. So I'm just doing this and then I'm pulling this back so I can see if I've punched through, and I did not, so that's a good thing. Back. Nope, I did not punch through. And then I'm going to skip this hole and go in through here. This is actually super easy like this. Because there's nothing, there's no resistance, right? The fabric is not resisting me. Where when you have a hardcover, it's resisting everything you do. Huh. There. Come back to this side. Through, and then come back through that hole, and then go back out right there, and oh, I am so through the thread. That's okay. I can pull that out on this side. Whew. At least I get to show you what not to do. So don't do this. Because I can't pull it tight now. So I have to pull it back through, and let's just make sure that it is not attached anywhere else. Perfect. Okay, now I'm just going to tighten this all up. This should be fairly straight. It is. It's actually not bad at all. Could it have been better? Sure. But it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to lay this open, and I'm going to pull this on either, going to pull the ends of the threads to either side of the center, and I'm going to tighten that and pull here, so because I want this to be tight. I don't want it to be over tight so that it buckles, but I want it to, I can take that off, but I want it to be tight enough that it's not going to fall apart either. So I'm putting a knot and a second knot, and I will put an S knot, and then I don't have to tie a bow. I can just cut it off. Because it'll be hidden anyway. Take scissors and just cut off the ends. There we go. One signature is bound inside. There we go. Now we'll put the second one in. And it should line up just perfectly. Should. Famous last word, right? Should. It should line up perfectly. There's that, and my needle. And I'm just repeating the process. So I'm going from right here, punching through, opening this up and finding the center. It's going way too easy. Something's gonna go wrong, but when it goes wrong, it's going to go so wrong that I won't know how to fix it. I even hit the right hole. Look at that. Okay, come this way. And I'm gonna stick this back through there. I can take this off now. So let's stay out of my way. We're gonna go back through here. Double checking that we don't hit the thread through each other. There. Just making sure that the thread is not punched through, and I don't believe it is. Nope. Okay. And then I'm going to skip all the way across to right there and punch through. Back that way. This way. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? What are you doing? There we go. Okay. Come back through this hole. And making sure that we're not punching through the thread, and I did not. And then I'm going to go to the center and punch through the center. There, and back. Through there. And I'll see if I punched through the thread. I don't believe I did. Or maybe I did. I did too, a little bit. Okay, let's just pull this all the way there. And then I can fix it on this side, that way I don't have to pull it all the way back out and take the chance that I'm going to do it again. There we go. Okay. What happened there? Oh, that wasn't smart. I don't know if you can see what I did. Um, I was like, what did I do? I'll show you. Look, I didn't sew through the spine there. I just went this way. So let's try that again. If I can find my needle. I wonder where I just put my needle. Let's throw down this. Okay. So I just have to take this piece of the thread. There, punch that through, and then come back through here. It was an easy fix, just, you know, kind of silly. I don't think I've ever done that before, where I just skipped the spine completely. Make sure this isn't punched through. And we'll just double check to make sure that it's not punched through, and it's not. So there we go. Now we're good. Phew. That took a moment. Just making sure that it's nice and tight in there. Take the thread on either side of that center thread, the center section, and then pull. Give it one last good pull, and let's put a knot and another knot. And then an S knot. Oops. Through there. And I will just tie that together. And cut it off. So there is my inside cover. And I've given it lots of space, but that means that I have lots of room to decorate. So it's not going to get alligator mouth or anything. And I can also put something else in there if I want to. So that's all good. So then off camera, I will take this part, and I'm going to put it in the center. And the easiest way to do that is to just lay this down and make sure that this kind of hits all the ends. And we'll have like some of these sides showing, but that's okay. I am okay with that. I'm still going to put doilies in here and other pieces of fabric. I want to really, really build this up, put lots of lace in there. But this is how I want this journal to look. I think that is lovely. So I will be hand stitching this to this cover. And so that's going to take some measuring later to make sure that I have everything in the right spot. Okay, so that is going to be the base for this journal. And I have lots of space, like I can make the spine, like that's why I wanted, I wanted a bit of a heavier fabric, and then the spine can kind of just fold down so it doesn't, like it can move, right? When I lay this down on here and I fold this over top to make sure I'm centered, right? This is soft. I wanted this to be a nice soft cover. So, and I think I'm succeeding. So that's what I wanted to do. All right, I'm going to put this aside and I'll finish that off camera because I have spent way too much time on it already. And I want to play for a bit. What do I want to play with? Well, I am going to turn this journal into a world for the Regency people. So I have my beautiful paper doll, my Regency paper doll, and her little cards, and all her bits and pieces and stuff that go with her. It feels like there's glue here somewhere, but I don't know why there would be glue. Anyway, so I want to dress her, and I'm trying to figure out which dress I would like to use. So I am all over the lace. I think that is beautiful. But I also really like this one with the greens. Like, look how lovely that is. And I'm going to zoom you in so you can see a little bit better. I don't know if that is big enough even. So this is the Regency doll. And the other thing I want to do is I want to, like, this is a lace fan, but I want to make a feather fan. So, but I don't know if I'm going to do that today. I may do that in a different video. But right now I want to, I just love this dress. So that's the one that she's going to be wearing. I do need some ink, and I want to use probably a tea dye. And I need my tea dye thingamajiggy. And just ink around her. The tea dye is just kind of blending into her skin, so it's not going to be as messy as what the walnut ink is that I usually use, or the walnut stain. This is kind of just a little cleaner. And I'm not going to ink all the way around her because you won't be able to see most of her anyway. chat. Hey Wendy, an idea for you. Could you make some coat hangers to fit the doll's clothes and maybe a wardrobe or cupboard? Well, yeah. Well, I have a cupboard because I made that folio for the Saturday paper dolls in one of the very first videos. So I made this that you can put this in. A cupboard, I struggle with that. So I will try and think about that. Same with hangers. I understand what you're saying, but it means that I have to wrap my head around how I'm going to do that. So I am not saying no, I am saying leave it with me. So I like the idea. But I've been doing so many different things, and I have so many different projects that I'm thinking of. So the wardrobe has not been at top of my list. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. I don't know if I like the tea dye on this dress. Should have probably used the antique linen, but it's okay. I'm being super careful. It does give it a bit of a shadow, so that's okay. Pretty. So I'm just going to glue this up. I'll leave some space so I can glue the feet down after. Not the feet, the shoes, so I can glue the shoes down after. And I just realized today that I didn't put tabs on the Regency clothes. So is that bothering anybody? Do you want the tabs, or are you okay without the tabs? Let me know. I can easily fix that. Cutting her hips away a little bit so they don't stick out. A beautiful dress. And then I have pretty green shoes that go with this. And the shoes, I am still doing exactly the same thing as I do every Saturday too. I just cut the toes off and then stick the shoes onto the toes, because that's all you can see. I still haven't figured out how else I'm going to do this. So I'm just cutting out the white pieces. These shoes I can actually cut like a little bit more. I should have inked them first and then cut them, but you know, I did not. Just a little blue. Sticking this on the feet. And I know, like, you can't even see her feet. But does that matter? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean she doesn't have them. This one. Cutting that whole piece off. I'm just going to cut this right here. And I'll show you why I am not cutting those pieces off again. I could have inked up too. Because I'm going to cut these right off too, because they're just not sitting right. There we go. And as long as we can see the toes of the shoes, then that's all that matters, right? There we go. So she has the great big fan. And I know she has a little purse too. Where did it go? A little reticule right here. I'll go with this one. So I'm grabbing a knife. And what I'm going to do, oh my goodness, okay, is I'm going to struggle for a moment. And I'm going to ink first, and then I'm going to cut. I think that makes way more sense than trying to cut these and then try and ink those thin pieces. Try and cut in your fingers. This, if I cut her fingers open or her hand open a little bit, right there. Oh, I can put this around her hand. Sorry, I know I'm mumbling now, but I am like concentrated on what I wanted to do. So if I go like that, I can have that hanging off of her hand. Let's see. I need glue on this side and glue on the back of her fingers. There we go. Haha, that worked. just, it's not, the glue isn't dry yet, so I can move it around. There we go. So there she is with her little reticule and her beautiful green dress. And now she just needs a dance partner, right? So let's go grab Thomas. And these, yes, these need to have something. We need to have something to put these into. I totally agree with you, Wendy. They need to go in something nice. I might think of something while I am working on that journal, and figure out how I'm going to put this together. I don't want to put that with it. Because these things are all so small that they will just disappear if you're not careful. In the meantime, I am going to put them into the folio that I made here. So I'm just going to put them right here on the side. That way I can't forget where I stuck them. And let's bring Thomas to the party. Thomas. So Thomas is the same size, or maybe a little bit bigger, as Our Lady's. And maybe we'll see Thomas come back in other designs as well. Why not? So for Thomas, I did create a butler. But I think I made it a little bit too big, which is okay. I want it that big because I need to be able to put the clothes on here, so his coat needs to hang down properly and stuff. So I think it's okay. It'll work. Anyway, so Thomas, I just suddenly decided that I wanted a male. I wanted the guy to join the party. Why not? That does not mean that I'm now suddenly going to create a whole 1950s male wardrobe. I don't know if I like that idea. So I am also cutting off the strings for his pants. Maybe they'll fall down. No, it didn't. I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say that. Honest. Oh, oh no, I just ripped his arm. So I thought, you know what? I am going to use heavier cardstock to print him out. One, he doesn't look nearly as vibrant as all my other dolls do because I didn't print him on photo paper because I was like, well, why would I do that? I recommend that you print it out on photo paper because then it is beautifully vibrant. Printed the clothes out on photo paper. Not Thomas. No. I wanted him to be really sturdy. So yeah, the heaviest cardstock I could find. Not the easiest thing to cut, not the easiest thing for fussy cutting, but he will be sturdy, that's for sure. And I'm going to question why he has such messy hair. Because I liked it. I wanted him to be ruggedly handsome. I think I succeeded. I don't want like some pretty boy. I want it like a Jamie. Kind of tall. Okay. So now we have to get some clothes on him because he can't go to a ball dressed like this. He even has hairy legs. Seriously. And big feet. He has big feet too. Sorry, Thomas, I am making fun of you. It's not very nice of me. I'll try not to do that again. I'll be nicer to you. I'll put clothes on you and make sure that you're all decent. And guy underwear was like very similar to girl underwear. Did you notice that? Like, how weird is that? Like the bloomers, the long bloomers. But I guess like it was either long bloomers or no underwear. Careful so we don't amputate his arm, because that's what I'm working on really fast. So I'm being super careful here that I'm not moving his arm too much. Because what good would that be? Then we'd have a one-armed Thomas. And we don't want that. I can fix it, but I would rather not. Okay. It's definitely a different cutting than when you're cutting a girl. Let's get his hand opened because it's a little easier than with the girls. There we go. There we go. Whew. We'll tea-dye him. That sounds so silly. Just his hands and probably around his head, because everything else is going to be covered up. Dirty hand now. There we go. All right. Let's put some clothes on Thomas. And I need to keep this cardstock because I don't know what I was thinking. Why the heck would I have used that? That's so stupid. Okay. Do we want to put this outfit or this outfit? Do you guys have a preference? Does anybody have a preference in which outfit we put on Thomas? I know I'm going to need breeches. I'm going to go with these. I may just mix and match what I am putting on him, because I can. Left, this left, my left or your left? The brown or the blue? My left, okay. Yeah, I like this one too. It's a little fancier. I don't know why it's more fancy, but this one is pretty, but this one is fancier. Okay, so I'm going to need all the pieces. So I'm just cutting them apart because it's easier to fussy cut when you have all the pieces separate. There's a lot of pieces to his clothes, like where the girl was like super easy. And one of these days I'm gonna have to name these girls. The girls are super easy because like one dress, ta-da, done. These guys, like, they have the boots and the shoes and the shirt and the vest and the overcoat and then another coat and another coat and another piece and this and that. It's crazy. The blue. Oh, I went with the brown. Is this the blue? Yeah, this is the blue. So I am going to cut out the inside of his shirt so that, you know, because it looks really weird when I put it on him and the back of the shirt is on the front of him. Hi Snurfy, how are you? And yes, I like the long coat too. Okay. See, now I can put it on him and it's not, the back is not showing. Okay, come on. So Thomas was not easy to put together. I will tell you that. That was a lot of extra work that the girls I can do really quickly now. But this was, there was way more to it than what I was expecting, so. I want to cut his sleeve loose. Just kind of cutting just the edge off here, just so that it's loose, but I'm not completely cutting it away. But now he has a sleeve. So I'll do the same on this side. Go up a little bit, and then I'll go on this side. If I do it on this side, you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just really like just taking a sliver off of there so that his sleeve moves. like every pleat, every bit and piece is like is right there. So and it needs to be shown because the cuffs are sticking out from under his shirt or from under his coat. All right, glue. No, ink. Ink first. You hit live and you're caught up now? Yeah. Well, I started at 7. It's now 9 o'clock. So I've been going for 2 hours. I was just building a journal, Snurfbee. So you're not that far behind. I just spent like a crazy amount of time building a journal. So I can play with the Regency period for a bit. Just for me, just because I want to. Good thing I covered most of that shirt up because I made a mess. Okay, glue. Have you met Thomas, Snurfbee? He's cute. He is cute. I was joking the other day because I was working with him. And I was like, I'm trying to put some clothes on this guy because he's very indecent. Okay. We need the vest. And I did take a shortcut. I put the cravat inside the vest because I was like, that is going to be so much work to get that to go properly. But if you know how to tie a cravat, you can do that, of course. Like you could take a little piece of fabric and tie a cravat for him and put it inside his vest. It would be a lot of work and it would be really teeny tiny work, but you know, it would look really nice if that's what we did. Maybe someday I will feel brave and learn how to tie a cravat and I'll do it. Okay, I think the tea dye is actually the right color for this because it's almost like that same color, kind of. Here we go. May have to cut the shirt down a little bit. Like this is really one where, you know, you may have to cut some bits and pieces off because it all fits him, but it might not fit over top of each other nicely. But that's why we have scissors, right? Oh, for gosh, it needs to go way up higher. There we go. There. He's starting to look pretty happy. You love this type of thing. Louise, where have you been? This is what we do every Saturday, and lately I've been doing it every Friday too, as I play with my paper dolls. I would love to show you what I do on Saturdays, but I can't right now because then I'm giving away the whole idea for Saturday. But yeah, go take a look. There's lots of the dolls that I've been creating and designing, and I am in love with them. Okay, let's clean up a little bit. There we go. All right, what does he need next? He needs his breeches. We may have to pull the vest up again so that the breeches can go underneath his vest or his waistcoat. It's called a waistcoat. And put the breeches on. Put the buckles. So I am loving my 50s dolls. But there is a surprise for you guys tomorrow. A big surprise. And questions tomorrow. So I hope you're going to watch, and I hope you're going to give me some feedback because I do need it. I only found you by chance while looking on Etsy for paper dolls. Yes, I am happy you did too. So I am slowly working at, well, actually, like, it's fairly fast, working at putting a whole collection together. So every Saturday I do a paper doll, and she is free in Ko-fi for 1 week, and then she goes to the paid collection with all the accessories and everything that go with it. So there's always, every Friday there, or every Saturday, there is a sheet with a new doll, and then when it goes to the paid collection and then I put her in Etsy as well. But in Ko-fi there is also a weekly freebie. So, and I am also I've started working on these historical dolls, and what I do is I try to find museum dresses and stuff, and then I try to recreate them. So that is really like there's I work with historical pieces and the catalogs and magazines and fashion images for like the 1950s. I don't want to go to a couple of different eras, but I'm getting there. I am slowly getting to a point where I have a little bit more freedom. I made a mess of him. Oh, poor Thomas. His bloomers are too big too. So I'm going to have to cut those down as well, which is okay. Or I can just ink around them. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. So I have, for the historical ones, right now I have the Regency Collection. I have the 18th century court dolls, and that's it. And then I have Marilyn, of course, like something about Marilyn. That, you know, out of everything I've made so far, I think that one might be my favorite. And I have an idea of something else in mind. I don't know what if men called them bloomers too, but I'm calling them bloomers because they look exactly the same as the female ones. Okay, I'm just going to cut right around that so it lines up. But yeah, I'm going to have to research that Snurf bee and see what they were called for men, if they were bloomers or breeches, or maybe it was gitch. Yeah, I don't know that word. I think that's a really Canadian word. There we go. He's got his breeches on. And we'll cut his this a little bit nicer. I'm just way too picky. I want everything to line up just so. There we go. Much better. It says men call them pantaloons. Okay, pantaloons. That's what it is. Won't call them bloomers anymore. We'll call them pantaloons. Okay, let's put the boots on him because I think the waist or the tailcoat and the overcoat are going to take a little bit more work than everything else, because I have a way that I am thinking that is going to fit properly. And it's going to take some cutting, but I want to get it just so. So, do you guys have like a next era that you want to go? We've tried 2 cards and they were both rejected. I know they were. I was shopping today. I'm sorry, Sherry, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Is there a problem with my Etsy? The Victorian, I love the Victorian era too. Yeah. You know, like I'm just like you guys, like I search for paper dolls too, and there isn't very many out there that are like this. So, you know, keep the ideas coming, because I love making these. And it is giving me like tons of material and research thing. I love the Victorian era. I would love to go to a little bit further back in history, like buy a coffee. It should work, Sherry. I'm not sure. Oh, did I change something in my settings? I'm gonna take a look, but I don't think I did. I've been messing around with everything, so it could very well be that I've done something to stop that. Let me just take a quick look. Settings. Oh, you know what? Would that have anything to do, Sherry, with oh, I think there's something in my settings. I have it like at it's set at a minimum of $2. So that is what it is. I can set it, let me set it a little lower. And then it should be okay. So I've set it to 1. I have to set a minimum. That's why, like, I think I have to set a minimum. Okay, it should work now, Sherry. Oh. Well, I appreciate that, but you know, that's I'm a little speechless, Sherry. Um, you know, I would, can I say that I would much rather if you purchase a paper doll than that you just give me $20. I like, as much as I really appreciate that, and I don't want to say like please don't do that. It is so not necessary. I don't know. I'm a little speechless and I'm a little overwhelmed with that. So I just want you guys to know that that is not what I'm doing, why I'm doing this. You had a Princess Diana paper doll. Oh, okay. Let me talk about that for a moment. When I am making paper dolls, like Marilyn or like these, I try to be as accurate as I possibly can. I followed Princess Diana so close. So if I am going to do that, it is going to give me so much extra work because I would want to be exact, right? I would want the exact dresses, like all the dresses that she wore, all these beautiful gowns. Her hair would have to be just so, everything. And that's where my struggle comes in. So I like the idea, but I need a little bit of time to figure out how to put that together. I don't know if like I have so many files on so many different things, but I do like the Princess Diana idea, and thank you very much, Sherry. I appreciate you. Okay, so he's got his shoes. He's at least now completely covered up. There we go. All right, now, I am not putting the top hat on yet. So with these coats, I'm going to just start cutting. You can see the back of it, right? So that's why I have a full coat. I don't usually do that, but I want to see if I can cut this in a way that the back is visible and the front is visible. So we kind of like drape it over top of him so that the tails are behind his bum. Does that make sense? So I'm actually keeping the collar on, and I want the collar to go behind his head. I don't know if you understand, if I'm making any sense, or okay, just let me know if that makes no sense at all. So I can cut him completely. I can cut the coat completely apart and then put it on him in pieces. But I don't want to do that either. So I have an idea. I have a thing. It suddenly came to me how I could do that this morning. And because I've had him sitting in my studio for a while, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to get the coat to sit properly until today. But I haven't tried it yet, so I'm trying it, and if it doesn't work, I am going to be crying. So I think right here, like the waistcoat is kind of right here. It has, or the tailcoat, it has the little things. So I'm going to cut that open like that. And then I'm going to go around all the way up to right there. And back down. And in here, I'm just going to cut it like that. I don't want to cut it completely open, but I may have to. I may have to. Let's see. How far do I need to cut this? So this way, I can lay this on him like this. Ah, it does work. It should work. Nope. I'm going to have to cut this loose, which is okay. So I just have to cut the collar out. Because I can't line it up properly otherwise. And then this can stay right there. It's stuck. It's stuck on his sleeve. There we go. Okay. There, and then this goes back over here. And then we'll have to cut the shirt down a little bit. And then, right here, I have to cut this open a little bit as well. Okay. So let's try that again. This working. This piece needs to come to the front. Get your hands out of the way. There. Like that. And then this goes right there. And then that lines up right there. It does work. It does work. I should have inked first and then tried it again. Okay. Let's ink this little piece. And I think that the great overcoat will work exactly the same way, but I may cut that one in pieces and then put it on. Okay. Glue. You would have fluffed his coat up? Like, what do you mean you would have fluffed his coat up? There. Messed the cutting on. Well, you know, you're seeing like what I'm doing. Like, I'm just trying, and I just had this idea of how I could get this to work, and obviously it works, but it was a little bit of think work, and I hope like anybody who is figuring, who's purchased this doll, is going to watch this video, so you see how you can put it together. It's not the most comfortable way, but I really, really, really wanted the back to be showing, right? To have to cut the sleeves of his undershirt, or of his chemise off. Okay, let's go. Let's get that in the right spot. Huh. This to go kind of to the back. I've done that with a couple of the Saturday girls too, where you just kind of tuck it behind. And then this goes like that. So this needs to come to the front. You'll probably cut it just a little lower, but it will work. I don't want to cut just need to get that in place first. Eh. I'm totally flustered because it's not wanting to sit easily, but it is going. There we go. Got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. One side. It's working. I just have this little flappy thingy hanging here, which I'm just going to glue down. Well, Thomas, it worked. So we'll glue the rest of his coat down. There. And then put some glue on the back of his legs. And I'll lay that in there so that that stays down. And now I can see the inside of his jacket. And he's still wearing his breeches. So I will figure out at some point how to do that. Like, and next time I would actually start cutting right here at the top. So let me show you on this one. I would start cutting here, go down to there, and then do the same on the other side, and then it would fall right over top of it. But I didn't know how I was going to do that properly, so that's what happened. Hey, Corey. Hey, Corey, we're playing with Thomas. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with this one. Is I'm going to, but this one is going to be even more tricky because the sleeves are just not his name. Why? What's wrong with his name? Maybe I'll have to make another one, another man, and name him something different. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I didn't know that. But you know, you can name him whatever you want. The other option I had was Sebastian, but I had just been working on the mice, and one of the mice was called Sebastian, so I just couldn't do it. That was just a no. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for forgiving me. This Thomas has a very hot middle name. His name is Thomas Hottie. Thomas Hottie. Hottie McHotterson. I don't know. Guys, ladies, we're on a roll. So with the long overcoats, I think let's see. Whoops! Just throw it right there. Okay. How is my weather? It's hot and sunny now, finally. We are under a state of emergency for the water. We had so much rain last week that we have a little bit too much overland flooding. They've had to close the dike. They don't think that it's going to crest until the 13th. So that's where we're at right now. The river is super high. We got so much rain. I think we got 13, was it 13 millimeters of rain in an hour? No, it's more than that. Anyway, last week. And so, yeah, we are a little flooded. So I'm going to start cutting from the collar right here. And I'm going to cut down probably till just, I need to figure out where his, no, I'm going to have to cut this completely open, I think. No. Oh, I'm confused. I'm confused. Because one part is going to go over top of him, the other part is going to go underneath him. So I need to put this over top of him, like that. And I'm going to have to cut the thing on. How's the weather in Ontario? Open so that I can get his hand in there properly. So that works. Glue, hot and stupid humid. Yeah. Well, if the humidity came from here, you're welcome. I'm thinking in 3D. I am thinking in, well, I'm thinking in different ways, yeah. I am trying to get everything to fit properly and in the right spot so that it looks right, and I can show you guys how it goes together. Okay, that's one side. Now we'll put this side. And cut this open. There we go. You can come to your castle anytime. Yes, pretty cute. I don't know. I think he's married. I think he's married to her. Or are we just going to make them live in sin? And the funny thing is like there's really only one way to put them together. There really is. Like, what a waste of putting that other coat on. You can't even see it anymore. No. And then this goes right here between his legs. Can't believe you can't even see it anymore. This goes up a little higher, right there. Well, he is pretty handsome like that, though. Let's get his top hat. Well, we do know how stylish he is under there. He is solid. That is like 4 layers of glue and paper. And I started with that stupid, let's pick the heaviest cardstock I have to build a paper doll. I should have known better, but no. Let's give him his hat. And then I think we'll be on the end of the, we'll be what? Gosh, I can't talk today. We'll be at 10 o'clock. We all want a solid man. I know, we've had this discussion before. Let's see if I can get that hat on him. So I'm just putting glue on the edge. I hate top hats. I'm just... I like him better without. What about you guys? I don't like the top hat. Like, it's the right size and everything. I just don't like how it looks. don't like it. There. No hat. He's gotta go hatless. He can hold his hat in his hand. There. Hold the hat in your hand. I've put the hat in his hand. I am not covering up that beautiful head of hair. Here we go. There's my man and my lady. So those two are going to be the Lord and Master of this journal. So this is where they are going to be living in. That is my plan. Thanks, Snurfbee. I'm pretty happy with them. Like, even though like they're pretty different. Like, she is so bright and beautiful and smooth, and then he is like rugged. Like, he's probably like a bad guy. Oh, you like him with his hat? Well, he still has the hat. His hat is in his hand now. He's just carrying it because he's with a lady, so he had to take the hat off to, you know, greet her. So, yeah, they're going to be living in this journal that I built today as well, and I'm still going to fix this up. So that is the other part that I still have to do. I'm going to do that off camera. There is like all these other outfits that are all going to go probably in some kind of a wardrobe idea that I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Also have these. I have not done anything with them publicly yet, so I just created these today, and I think they're so lovely. But yeah, they are going to go into this journal, and then these are some of the pages that I've created. So they're all backgrounds from original Regency era clothing swatches, and I think they're just beautiful. So that's what I did today. I built a journal, and I built a lady and a man. You know, who else can say that they built a man today? Thank you all for joining me and for a couple of lovely laughs. Well, thanks, Snurfbee. I love having you guys join me. I love having the laughs. And I'm sorry, Corey, that his name is wrong. The next one, I won't call Thomas. We'll call him something different. Maybe I'll be ready to call him Sebastian by then. Tomorrow is Paper Doll Saturday, and I think you guys might like what I am sharing. So you'll have to take a look. It is a little different from where I've been. Calling you first, you have a lot of exes. I joined a club, lady. All right. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Oh, you're very welcome, Louise. Like, it's not the easiest thing, but it does all come together, and you do need a pair of scissors with it. This is actually not a doll that you can fit with the little tabbies around, so like it really is a cut and paste doll, because you do have to cut like the sleeves down and the things, so that's what it is. I am going to sound off and have a rest maybe, or maybe I will build something else because I still have lots that needs to get done. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank you guys too for the reception that my adventures to Bacon Rind City has been getting. That's really awesome. Every day there's lots of comments on it and lots of fun memories that people are sharing, and I love it. So thank you very much for that. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you again tomorrow.